It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, Brian, this next question is from Alana. Alana said, I don't have any dependents. Should I get life insurance now while I'm still young, 31, and healthy, while it's super cheap? Or should I wait until a time when I may have dependents, but when it may cost more? So, Brian, first I think you should say, what's the purpose, the reason why we buy life insurance? And is it something we ought to buy as early as possible because we know that rates are going to go up theoretically? What's the right way to approach that? And what advice would you give Elena?
Yeah, I mean, now look, there's a whole industry out there that will tell you life insurance is also investing. Be careful. That's a whole nother show. I think if you ask me, and by the way, I have lots of life insurance on myself. We recommend it for people. We don't sell any of it, so that's probably why we can give you more of an objective take of the whole situation. Is that I think insurance is to replace and fulfill income that would be needed if you were here. Because what's the goal is ultimately you're hoping at some point in the future, say 60, 65, that you have enough assets that you can self-insure, because if for instance, if I passed away, but yet there's a big pot of money that I've saved and built for my family, my wife and children can just live off of that. Why buy life insurance for it? Because this isn't a great investment. There's a reason these insurance companies have buildings and other things and can pay huge commissions like they do. But I do have concerns because the why is not there, because just to go buy insurance because the rates are so low while you're young, yeah, that's a benefit. But the why is the box is not checked because you don't have anybody counting on the money. And also, I always think it's amazing when things line up perfectly like they should. I always think it's interesting that a lot of term life insurance policies, one of the most popular terms is 20 years. Mm-hmm. When do people typically need to go look is, okay, after you get married and you have a mortgage. Mm-hmm. Well, mortgages are paid off. I know they're 30 years, but there's some who are paid off between 15 and 20 years. Okay, so that's great. You can have a term policy that covers the debt. You have your first child. You go buy that term policy. When are they an adult and walking on their own and you don't have to worry about funding so much of their life?
About 20 years in the future.
About 20 years in the future. And here's the cool thing about term life insurance. You don't have to just buy one policy. So you have life events that will occur. You go buy that 20-year term policy, and it's not uncommon. I think I have 5, 6, I might even have 7 policies on me because there's been between business things that have happened with us, between having different kids and other things that have happened. It's okay. And by the way, I'm now at the age, because I'm getting closer to 50, that I actually have a policy that's about to fall off because I bought this over 20 years ago. So now it's just not a reasonable policy to keep anymore. So did I leave any meat on that bone?
The only thing I was going to say, at 31, it's still 31 and it's still really, really inexpensive. And, my first policy I think I got when I was 25 or something like that. And then, my wife and I, we got married and had some kids. And then I got some more life insurance. I want to say that actually cost per thousand actually gone down. Even though I was older, the cost of insurance was cheaper for me just based on what had happened with life expectancies and mortality rates and that sort of thing. I really don't think at 31, you're going to have a huge issue or notice a huge cost differential that I don't know that I have to be in a huge hurry to go get it. I like what you said, Brian. When there are major life circumstances, you take on some unique debt that you'd like to have paid off, you get married, you have kids, you move places. When you have other things going on, I think that makes sense. I don't think you have to try to get in a hurry to try to get the best deal, because at young ages, and young is, truthfully, anyone below 48, I think is young, right? So I think that, that's a good number to just kind of think about. I think I don't know that I'd be in a super big hurry.
Well, and also notice insurance companies, I believe they're still using 40.
I think 40 is
a lot of their TV commercials
top of the bell
and stuff.
Curve. Yep.
So you got plenty of time.